Hello and welcome to a brand new season of the Irn Cru podcast, the American football podcast made in Scotland by NFL lovers. My name is Keith McGinty, and I'm delighted to say that we're back again for this will be our fifth season covering the NFL from a Scottish perspective, and I couldn't think of two better gentlemen to do this with than Kev Coggle. Kev, how are we, buddy?
I'm not bad, thanks, mate. I've just been missing your face and Danny's face and all the other crew faces. So I jumped at the chance to come back on and have a chat.
We took a well-deserved break in the month of March there off. Just needed to recharge the batteries. Then, as Bono said, just go over and dream it all up again. And we certainly have done that. And as we mentioned there, we're delighted also to be joined by Danny. Danny, how you feeling, bud?
I'm still not talking to you, right? I'm still in a huff. And right, no, just don't even start, right? We've barely spoken. I've been in, 6 weeks of sorrow or whatever it's been. No, delighted to be back, mate. It was a class season. We go again. That's it. We never stop. As a famous Australian football manager once quoted. But who'd have thought, man? 5 seasons. I never thought we'd do 5 episodes, never mind 5 seasons. So here we go again. Let's roll.
And I think that's why the wee break after, because it's hard work. You would think people think it's easy. We make it look easy, hopefully, but just making sure everybody's available and getting all this stuff organised. But once we're on, it's just an absolute pleasure to chat football with you guys. And just needed the wee month of March off to do that. I'm gutted we didn't get a wee chance to have a wee post Super Bowl podcast, but it was draining, that game, I would think, for 2 reasons. One for my side, which delighted the Seahawks of the world champions. Don't know if you missed that, Danny. You did leave a wee bit early, and the Pats put up a valiant effort in the fourth quarter. So it was good. That's me. I've got it out of my system. Don't need to mention it again for a wee while. We'll keep it going. Football season. Football season is kind of in the off season, but American football never stops. We have had plenty of news going on over the month of March. Plenty of things for us to talk about, and that's what we're just going to have a wee catch up podcast tonight. If you have any questions that you'd like to fire away to the crew, please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. We'll have a wee look through the Instagram comments and X to see what's coming through, and we'll answer those questions as the podcast is going. But tonight, it's just a chance to have a wee catch up. What have you been doing to fill the time? Kev, I'll come to you first of all. What have you been doing? What's been taking up the void that has been since football has kind of left us for a wee bit?
Me and my wife just bought a house, so the last, I don't know, it feels like forever now, has just been taken up by planning for the move, packing for the move, moving, unpacking, and I'm pleased to say we're almost there. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So another reason why I was happy to get back on here, because that's kind of that was taking up all of my time, but that's kind of done and dusted now. So looking forward to just planning for the new season there.
Tell you what, Kev, that was weird, right? I watched your wedding live in Vegas. I was at your wedding reception, and hearing you saying my wife was weird as hell. That says it all about you, mate.
I know. It still feels funny in my mouth as well, to be honest.
That was terrific. We get a wee live stream of your wedding in Vegas there, looking good in the kilt again. So when you were, how's married life treating you? Is it you settled into it nicely? Yeah.
Aye, superb, mate. It's not been any different, to be honest with you. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I didn't feel like it was different at all. Just kind of, it felt exactly the same.
You're meant to say it's like a dream come true, wedding, wedding bliss, and wee bluebirds wake you up every morning, open your curtains for you.
He'll learn, Danny. He'll learn.
He'll learn.
What were you, Dancer? What you been up to?
I just, ducking, diving, wheeling, dealing. No, it was, well, I had a birthday in between, so that was good. I was well spoiled. And then my good lady turned 30, so we had a wee jaunt to Prague for a few days, which was class. What a city. What a great.
It looked incredible. The pictures you put in the chat were phenomenal. It looked absolutely class. It made me want to go, to be honest.
You're talking about me lying naked in a bath, aren't you?
That's right,
You're a pervert. Knew it.
Beer bath, was it? Was a beer bath, you
said? Yeah. They just take like hops and stuff and throw it in like a basic jacuzzi and just lie there and bubble away while you've basically got a beer keg next to you and just sit and pour yourself pints and watch yourself in a mirror, which was a wee bit creepy, but that's all right. No, it was good though. Absolutely brilliant place. We thoroughly enjoyed it and had a great time. So that was only on the last sort of week or so we get back. So try to get back in the swing of things, but it's been good. It's been good. Nice to have a wee bit of time off away from the NFL. It's amazing actually. Just you pine for it all year. I don't know about you, Keith. You then you get completely immersed in it with the draft, and then your fancy drafts and everything through it. All right through Christmas, New Year, and by the time it gets to February, I'd honestly feel exhausted by just the amount of information you're trying to absorb, and it's love it when not change it, but you're definitely ready for that break and you come the mid-February.
Absolutely. There's just so much that goes into the running of the games. There's so much news. For all there's only 32 teams, there's just so much news that goes on all the time. Just that you just needed that wee disconnect for a while, I think, and it really just try to keep your toe in the water and catch up with everything that's been happening. It's good for us to get that wee chance now to discuss it, and hopefully many other people have been the same. But we're going to be keeping going all through the off season. We're going to at least do a weekly podcast, weekly show. We'll get you guys involved, so make sure that you're send your messages, send your comments in. We'll get you involved. First one that we've actually got up is through Instagram. We've got Matthew_Robinson 2011. He's asking for a wee shout out to the Napier Knights varsity team, aka the national champions. They had their varsity game last Wednesday night. It was, and they ran out champions. What a season that they've had. Outstanding. So yeah, big round of applause to those guys there. Outstanding.
Well done, troops.
We will hopefully get a chance to get through to some games again in the off season. We've got contact starting up. There's been loads of flag football on. I've been along to a couple of games up at Ravenscraig. They had some the flag football championships there. Flagpalooza, I think it was absolutely terrific. No, not Flagpalooza, sorry. It was the Scott Ball one, and it was outstanding. So hopefully get to a few more of them, and still learning that side of the game, especially as it's getting more and more credence now that they had the games with who was playing?
Logan Paul or whatever, Jake Paul or one of them, and
getting all ready for the Olympics in 2028, I think it'll be. So yeah, flag's really starting to take off. It's brilliant. I can see it getting massive here in Scotland, because already they're starting to do coaching sessions for schools. I'm a teacher myself, so I couldn't make the last one, but I'm certainly going to keep a wee eye out and try and get along to one of the wee coaching things. And we had a taster in our health week. Delighted to say that we managed to get Cammy from the Glasgow Hornets. He came through for a wee demonstration with our kids, and he was absolutely brilliant, and the kids loved it. So yeah, flag's going to get massive. We're going to get a chance to see a wee bit more of that. Hopefully get some people on. We've also got a Scott Ball podcast, which will be reviving it as well. So get some more people on talking about that and learning a wee bit more about it, because there's so much happening here in Scotland, as well as the coverage and the fans of the NFL. There's also the amateur game here in Scotland, which, yeah, is thriving and is going to get bigger as well. Where will we start our chat for the NFL? Because that's what we're going to focus on mainly on the Irn Cru flagship podcast. We're going to focus on the NFL. Where will we start with? Well, free agency frenzy. That was quite interesting. Let's go
That's
for
always a
that then.
fun part, isn't it?
Go on then, Danny. You start us off. You kick us off then. What was some of your favourite parts from that?
Well, I think free agency. I love free agency. Right, is when I don't know WhatsApp chat. I turn into like Jim White or whatever it is, wearing my yellow tie, and I'm constantly on Twitter refreshing it every minute. And I think it's brilliant. It is so much fun. I thought nothing was too exciting, shall I say, happened. There was that initial wave come through. I think all the main free agents get snapped up pretty quickly on their franchise tags, or they were extended. There wasn't anything too major, I'd say, that really went through. Obviously, the big one that came out was the Trey Hendrickson / Max Crosby saga, which that's got to be the first place we really start at. I don't know about you. I've got my own sort of theories on how things play out, but for me, it just was not a good look for the Ravens. I think they were at it for the outset. I think they done the Raiders absolute dirty. I'm sure that we have a fellow crew member who would probably tell me something different, and they acted with the best intentions. I think they were at it. But yeah, I think regardless, it was a great pickup, Trey Hendrickson, for the Ravens. I think it was a position of need. They went out and got the best one that was available as a free agent. But obviously how they got there was somewhat, I was going to say dubious. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, they took the piss a bit, didn't they?
Well, did they? You were talking about some theories on how things went down. I saw a cracking TikTok on this, and they had the theory that it was the Raiders that played a blinder in this one. They knew about Max Crosby's knee, and they knew that it wasn't going to pass any medicals, but they were happy to let him go out, talk to other teams, get that deal with the Ravens done, knowing fine well that he was going to come back to them eventually, which meant he was going to raid the Ravens. All the other teams had made their deals elsewhere. The Raiders were able to get the centre from the Ravens, I'm sure. I can't remember exactly who it was. I think it was, I can't remember exactly. They managed to get someone, I'll have a quick look now. But because they kind of knew that Crosby was going to come back to them, they managed to get their top target elsewhere, when everybody else was maybe trying to court Crosby to them and kind of took their eye off the ball of other places. They managed to get all their business done.
That TikTok account, it wasn't like Michael from Hamilton, was it by any chance? No, just wonder. Sounds a bit sus to me. I don't know. When you hear Max Crosby talk about it, and he's sitting saying that, these guys, nobody showed them up. They basically flew him the equivalent of Ryanair across the country to come and sign with him. Nobody really picked him up. Never really met the head coach. General manager wasn't interested in seeing him until it was time to tell him, actually, you failed your medical. I would love to know what the ramifications are of that then, dealing with the Raiders or the Ravens, going forward. How could you actually negotiate with them in good faith, non the pull it? Because look at what could have happened. Now, if I'm the Raiders general manager and say you wanted it to play out and you wanted that, they were getting 2 first-round picks. Okay, that's a brand new draft strategy. Then they've just freed up a lot of money in their cap. They've went hard in free agency. They've signed all these players, and all of a sudden, that all changes. They're now having to now try and integrate Max Crosby back in, take that cap hit back in. Their draft strategy now changes. They don't have those picks going forward, but those might be. See, I think it was dirty by the Ravens. Kev, come on. You've got my opinion. Come on, split us here.
I don't know. I don't know if it was necessarily dirty. I mean, Max Crosby's a great player. Who wouldn't want him on their defence? I think that they were genuinely interested. Obviously, the medical showed up something, and they've decided to go and get Trey instead. And that's the way I seen it. I just thought they've got a number one choice. They went, inquired, decided, it's not going to be good for us, and then they've shifted. If that hurts the Raiders, then so be it. You know, they're not worrying about the Raiders. But I mean, the thing that Keith was saying there about somebody said they played a blinder, like letting him go out there and like drawing everybody's eye. How does that help them when they've got Max Crosby coming back? And like Danny says, having to try and reintegrate him, I just don't see how that would be smart strategy from them. But the other question, the other big question here is, what does it mean for Max Crosby? Like, you know, they're now saying that his knee is suspect and he can't pass a medical. So, you know, he's been an elite player. Is he going to be that now? That's still, you know, up for debate as well.
That's a 23 sack season. 23 sack season coming up from Crosby.
Is it? Aye.
It was Tyler Linderbaum.
For who though? Aye, that's what Danny said. Aye.
Linderbaum.
Yeah.
Great centre, by the way. That's another brilliant pickup. I'm so surprised actually the Ravens let Linderbaum actually leave. I would have thought they would have done more to try and keep him. What they give Hendrickson?
They thought they were getting. They thought they were getting Crosby. That's what it was. That's their attention. That's all their money went. This is what Tom Brady's playing with the Raiders now.
Is it chess and checkers? That whole thing again. I don't know where you want to go to next on that one, Keith.
Yeah, so let's see other ones. You've Kirk Cousins, Stephon Diggs.
What about the reigning Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker? 1, 2, 3.
Aye.
He skedaddled on out of there, got himself a ring, and went chased a big bag of money. Disappointed?
Do you know? I'm in a way because we just relied so heavily on him towards the end, the season and the run-in, and kind of with him playing so well in the Super Bowl and deservedly getting the MVP, it's a shame he didn't get the touchdown that was called back as well. That would have been just the ultimate cherry on top of the cake for him there. But I can kind of see how we're not too disappointed for him to leave. Charbonnet hopefully can come back from his injury and be able to take a lead role there. But like you say, we're able to hopefully draft a decent running back in his replacement. I don't think we're going to be able to get as high up the board as I would like to get a certain running back from I've got my Notre Dame t-shirt on, a wee bit of love. Nice. And in the Pacific Northwest would be lovely, but I don't see that happening. It's a shame. However, I think it's a great pickup by the Chiefs. They've struggled with the running back. In the recent years, I know Studs, our resident big chief, is delighted with this pickup for the guys for Kansas City, but Walker was injury prone as well, and this has been the first real season we saw what he could potentially be, and just so happened to just coincide with a magical run at a magical time for the team. So it was a huge player for us, especially as Darnold and the offense started to lean towards the running game that wee bit more. But there'll be someone else to replace him. There'll be some new hero for us to get behind. Charbonnet hopefully can come back for his injury and do well. But let's see who we draft. Who's next? Who's next up?
Bradley Chubb. Oh, sorry, I was going to talk about Bradley Chubb. That was someone. Sorry, Kev. I'm just hogging the mic here, but
no, you're all right, mate. Carry on.
For one, I couldn't believe how much money he ended up getting. Was it 14.5 million, 43 overall? Just considering how much, he was obviously such a big name player with the Broncos, traded off to the Dolphins when they tried to go all in, and now he finds home with the Bills, who obviously need edge rush help, but I couldn't actually believe how much money he actually picked up in the end for somebody who seemed to be on the decline with Miami. But then again, that might be more telling about Miami than it is for the actual player himself. So that was just that one I wanted to throw in there because that one surprised me a bit.
Kev, what about your Eagles? What bits of business have you been happy with from the guys
to be
from
honest,
Philadelphia?
I haven't seen much. I think, did we get a corner? You guys will maybe be able to tell me if you've got a screen in front of you, but
so Reek Woolen from the Seahawks, that's
the one. Aye, that's the
Yeah.
one. So yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. That's something that I reckon we needed last year. But I think, see, for us, like right now, it's more about trying to get rid of AJ, I think. I mean, we got Hollywood Brown in, which is all right, but is he going to replace AJ Brown? I don't think so. So, I mean, realistically, I think we need to try and find somewhere to move him on to, and then obviously look to replace him in the draft. But it's just that there's something. We had the players last year. We've got the players to win, but it's just there's something that's not quite clicking in the locker room, or between the players and the coaches. So I'm kind of more concerned about that than who we pick up, to be honest.
It's the Sirianni effect, isn't it? This was like 2 years ago, whenever it was. It looked like he went his way out, completely lost the locker room, managed to come back, wins the Super Bowl, and then he's back in that trough again, downtime.
Yeah.
But are you concerned about some of the defensive players who've went out though? Was it known like Nakobe Dean, Jalen Phillips? You lost Reed Blankenship's away.
Yep.
Wee bit of turnover in that defence as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we've got a lot of good young defenders there though, and I think that Howie will kind of bolster that in the draft. I'm pretty sure he'll do some good business. That's what he does. So I'm not overly concerned about that. As I said, I'm more concerned about getting the most out of the players that are there, because last season, like after winning a Super Bowl, it just seemed to kind of unravel, just like it did when we got to the Super Bowl a few years prior and lost to the Chiefs. Like you said, maybe it's the Sirianni effect, maybe it's somebody else in the building. I don't know, but that's kind of where my focus would be right now, is trying to figure that out.
Well, you know what? The Pats are happy to give up like a 5th round and a bag of Skittles for AJ Brown. You just send them our way. We'll take good care of him.
Aye, have you guys replaced Diggs? Have you got anybody in?
Aye, with a packet of Skittles.
It was a dark helmet, the equivalent of the NFL dark helmet thing for Spaceballs. We Romeo Dobbs with a massive hat on. No, to be honest, I think that's definitely got an area of need for the Patriots. Obviously, the releasing Diggs, I think obviously they're all in AJ Brown, but we've got to need to wait and see. It's this June 1st designation. I think if they want to try and trade them before then, they're going to want a packet to try and to take that dead money, that cap hit that they're going to have to pick up if it's after June 1st. I don't think the Patriots will want to give up too many picks for the following year when 2027 looks like it's got a much better draft than 2026. So I think it's a bit of a stalemate right now between them. And we'll see what one blinks first.
Yeah. Do you think you guys need players? Is there nobody in there that you reckon can step up? Because you've got a lot of guys in that receiver room, and there was some guys that were making splash plays last year and then they never seen any targets. Is there somebody that you think could maybe step up and become that guy?
I think you're always hoping your young players. Like we've got Kyle Williams, who took in the 3rd round last year, made a couple of really good plays, but was largely only used as like the deep ball. So it'll be interesting to see how he can develop. Obviously, Keyshawn Booty had a really good year. He's continued to progress. But at the end of the day, Matt Collins, great. The players are saying there. Now, I'll maybe take Kyle Williams and set him to the side, being obviously getting his sophomore year. But the rest of them you're looking at, none of them are anywhere near the same level of talent as AJ Brown. Even in AJ Brown getting a 30-year-old or whatever he is, 29, 30, I still think he takes that receiving room up a level. Loads of experienced talent there, and obviously he's worked with Vrabel before as well. So that would I think really set us up. But we'll see what happens. You never know.
It did certainly feel like towards the end of the season, you were struggling to get people open and options for the Patriots to be able to complete plays. That seemed to be the issue towards the end of the season.
Really, it's been no line. That was the big trouble. Will Campbell come back,
Yeah.
wasn't he fit? We had Jared Wilson, obviously a rookie as well, playing at left guard. It was too much to put on them. They eventually collapsed. So they made a couple of good moves there. They traded away Bradbury to Chicago. They're moving Jared Wilson back to his natural position as centre. Probably picked up Elijah Vera Tucker, put him in at left guard. So, yeah, never know. We'll see. That's the great thing about this team. You know what? It's every team's full of hope. I'm just looking at a list there, like the Tennessee Titans have picked up. It looks like they have just went out and spent the entire world and picked up about another full 53-man roster in the free agency. You know, and every single team right now is looking at going, that could do it. That could be the one. That could be the Patriots of 2026. You know?
I was going to say, you guys set the standard last season for how quickly a team can be turned around and can be rebuilt.
That's it.
A team
a lot will be looking at that exact model. Get yourself a quarterback and then just go and spend some money.
Yeah. Guys, and get yourself a coach. To be fair,
yeah.
You've got to have the coach and the quarterback. I mean, the upside of the whole offensive line being so dodgy was that you found out that Drake May's got legs as well. So there's always a silver lining.
Magnificent legs, isn't he?
Yeah.
he's got wheels.
Other ones that we saw that a team that will be looking to rebuild, but I don't know how far away they're going to be looking to rebuild, will be the Miami Dolphins. I think probably one of the biggest trades off the off-season so far was Jalen Waddle going to the Denver Broncos. I think that's a great pickup for the Broncos, that one, but it shows you that it's an absolute fire sale down in Miami just now.
It was wild, absolutely wild. I forget how much dead cap they're carrying. Is it like a half or almost 170 million or something ridiculous between releasing Tua and Tyreek Hill, and obviously then there's Waddles as well. I think that they take a bit of a hit for that, but it just shows that sometimes you've just got to rip it all up. You know, what does it say? Things have got to get worse before they get better. You know, it's night is darkest before the dawn and all that. So good.
You say that, right? You say that, but usually you kind of want to see some sort of like kind of strategy, so some sort of end goal. Like the Dolphins just seem to be rudderless. I think like, it doesn't seem to be any method in the madness. It's just, right, let's just let him go. Like, what are they? They must be trying to tank next year.
Well, they've got 180 million in dead money, which is absolutely wild. Even the Saints are going, that's a wee bit much.
Your lads need some help with managing your cap. Kev, although you're saying that, like, there's no strategy, would you look at Tua and say, yep, he's my future? No. The issue is the previous regimes there, the previous general managers, head coach, whatever, the thing they tried to build didn't work. They pushed all in and went, right, okay, we're going to throw a bag of money at Tyreek Hill, Tua, Bradley Chubbs of the world, Jalen Waddles. They had a couple of good pieces in the draft as well, and it didn't work. And you know what? As Kenny Rogers said, you've got to know when to hold them, you've got to know when to fold them. And they just went, you know what? Get rid of them. We'll just start again. We'll take the hit this year. There'll probably a wee bit of pain next year. We'll look towards the draft. We'll pick up as many trade assets as we possibly can. Minka Fitzpatrick, traded him away, Jalen Waddle away, released Tua, released Tyreek Hill. Blow it all up, start again, rebuild. Because you can see, like we said, how quickly you can change things. They've obviously brought in a bit of Green Bay help. Between their head coach, their general manager, is that they're wanting to try and get down. So I can kind of see why you would, because why try and run it back again with a quarterback who just isn't isn't it? He's not going to do it. So I kind of say fair play, but you've just got to take the pain now as it is and just look, okay, we know we're going to be picking probably in the top 3 coming into the 2027 draft. And by all accounts, it's going to be a much better draft for just overall blue chip talent, but also the quarterback position. So pick up yourself up as many picks as you can, go play with them, trade up, do what you need to do with them. So I see the method, but yeah, it's got to be a hard year for the Dolphins.
Yeah. Aye. I just feel sorry for the Dolphins fans, like having to go and watch whatever they have.
Poor Sean. Yeah. It sounds as if they are going to like properly take a leaf out of the Packers book and try and build their team through the draft. Jeff Hafley, as you said, coming in. Can't remember the general manager's name who's come in again from the Green Bay Packers. I've got the front office here. I'll check that now. It's just a team that they seemed. God, that was like just 2-3 years ago. They were beaten. What was it? 70 they put up past the Broncos. Now look at the Broncos and what they've managed to achieve in that short space of time as well.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how quickly they'll be able to turn that around. John Eric Sullivan, that's your general manager.
Man. That's right there.
Yeah,
so
they certainly seem as if they're in a bit of bother.
Aye. So what about Kyler?
Oh, he'll be playing COD happily right now. He's eagerly awaiting Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out.
Do you think O'Connell's going to be able to work his magic with him?
I personally, I don't see it with Kyler Murray. I think he can be like quite exciting to watch. Obviously, he's great at scrambling. But for me, like if I was in charge of any other team in the NFL, I wouldn't be going, "Oh, there's Kyler Murray's free. Let's go get him." I just nah.
But then you look at your room and you go, "Oh shit, there's JJ McCarthy sitting there. Let's go get Kyler." Because let's face it, he's a bit dug meat, I know, isn't he? While there's still the picture of Sam Darnold up on the wall, just like, what could have been. So he might work his magic with Kyler Murray, and then they'll trade him away or release him, or
That's the
trouble. Oh, sorry, mate. On you go.
No, I'm just going to say the Vikings have always got solid defensively, even the roll line's really, really strong. I wonder if a few design plays for Kyler Murray would be a weapon that they could use up there. Maybe he's just needing a place where, because the Vikings fans are just absolutely wild for their team. Maybe he just needs a wee happy place. We talked about how Sam Darnold found his happy place in Seattle. Maybe somebody like Kyler, who is undoubtedly got the talent, he can have problems with his accuracy when things aren't going well, and he's able to make things out of nothing. I wonder if with a few design moves, design runs for him, and that bit of protection, he'll maybe be able to achieve, especially with JJ up there for him to throw to, not JJ pushing him from the other side.
But I guess if it doesn't work there, where is it ever going to work for Kyler?
Exactly.
With Sean McVay or something like that, or Kyle Shanahan. That's the next best place you're looking at when you've got KLC there. You've got Justin Jefferson, Addison. You've got all these sort of pieces there that you're like, okay, there's stuff that your quarterback would just be salivating at, having at your disposal. Again, it's just one of these things that it's not just talent. Talent can only take you so far. You need to have the dedication, the work ethic, probably an extra few inches on his height wouldn't he go and miss either. But he's definitely got a lot of the physical attributes that you'd want. It's just whether he's that interested in putting in the work, So we'll see it comes to that. One team I wouldn't mind just touching on, if you don't mind, the Rams and what they've done. I've been very impressed. I don't know if you're sitting there worried, Keith, looking at what they've done, but obviously going out and trading for Trent McDuffie, and they picked up Watson as well from Kansas. They kind of just wiped out their backfield. Are you concerned? Are they in the rearview mirror?
I think that was the hardest games that we had all last season, was the games against the Rams, and it really was a toss of the coin as to which team won that. And then we proved that we could do them. That was the real hoodoo. That was the team that I was most worried about in that final stretch. Once we got past that, if we could beat the Rams, then that was us. There was no one left for us to fear. Those last few games against the 49ers, against the Rams, it was terrific. But like you said, they have just improved. They've strengthened their team again. I'm hoping that Puka Nakua is into this self-sabotaging big time, and that he is maybe bitten off a wee bit more than he can chew. I see that there's another. We really should be starting to take a wee note of all the different police involvement with players in the off season in the NFL. It was wild, some of the stuff that happened with these guys. But Puka, if he could maybe go off the rails, maybe start to believe his own hype a wee bit, that would be helpful. I don't see it happening though. I just see another well-coached, strong, aggressive team for the Seahawks to challenge against next year. And with that rivalry and with those games, just help push both teams on. So this is going to be a really interesting, really strong team. Another great division from the NFC West again.
To make it harder as well, they decided, let's put Mike Evans into that division as well. Just
yeah,
because obviously he's lacking so much talent, wasn't it?
Well, the 49ers did so well, and they managed to do that without Brandon Ayuk at all last season as well. So, it's a challenge, but listen, we've proved that we can do it. I think it just makes it so much more exciting, and the eyes will be on that again. And whether the Cardinals can get their act together, because they've got some cracking players there. Again, love Trey McBride. What are they going to be able to draft and help fill some holes in that team? Because they've got some good talent, they've got some good wide receivers there. They can be an exciting team. They put up plenty of points at times last season without having a defense to back it up. They might not be as far away as what people think. They're nowhere near the other three teams in the division, don't get me wrong, but I think they can still cause a wee bit of problem for other teams. Kev, what about yourself? Mike Evans, we're all big Mike Evans fans here in the crew. You think that's a good payday for him, first of all, but then a great landing spot for him to head over to California, over to San Fran?
Absolutely. I think it's a great move for him. I'm not so sure it's a great move for the Niners. I think it's a long old season. How many games is Mike Evans going to play next year? He had these injury problems this year. He's not getting any younger. I think, for him, buzzing for him. I think maybe the Niners kind of overachieved this year based on all the injuries they had and the age of some of their key pieces. And I think bringing in a guy who is potentially coming to the end, don't think that would have been my move if I was there. But yeah, it'll be good to see him play there and see how he gets on.
I suppose it could be a bit like Keenan Allen, leaving the Chargers, then coming back and just not quite hitting those same heights that he'd done previously. I wonder if Mike Evans coming in, I wonder if his reputation's going to go before him. Has he got the strength in his body to overcome the difficulties at that power station beside the training facilities is going to cause him there? We'll wait and see how he does. But great guy, great player. Happy to see him get a final payday.
It was a pretty decent contract, though, all things considered. Considering how special it can be, how many 1,000-yard seasons had. Just kind of looking there, 3 years, 42.5 million, only 14.3 guaranteed. You know, if it doesn't work, you're moving on. It's not that big a risk to them.
Yeah.
But the ceiling is far higher than the floor with that one, you know, so I think it's a great pickup. Absolute no-brainer as well.
And the Niners have got to hope that, I've picked him up in a few drafts as well. Who's the wide receiver that drafted last year that gets shot?
Ricky Pearsall.
Ricky Pearsall,
Ricky Pearsall. They must be hoping that he's got to start taking on that mantle as being the wide receiver one. They've got Christian Kirk come in there as well, Mike Evans. Brandon Ayuk's still on the roster, but don't see that one coming back.
No. We'll see. Again, the place you want to go, Shanahan. That's that's all you need to see. He can make wonders with third and fourth stringers. So
absolutely. While we're talking about wide receivers, we've not mentioned DJ Moore getting traded to the Buffalo Bills from the Bears. Do you think that's a great spot for him, Danny?
Yeah. I like DJ Moore, but I just don't know the fit. I don't know. Buffalo just seems a weird place for wide receivers. They kind of go and nothing really comes off. Nothing really works out for them. Like Diggs obviously, and then it fell apart as quickly as it came. Him and Allen and Diggs obviously seem to have a bit of beef there, and so it's obviously a rival in the AFC East. You're looking at, it's no one I'm like crapping my pants at, looking and going, oh shit, that's something to worry about. I think he's a very good player.
Yeah.
Does he move the needle a huge amount? Probably not. I think they still need some proper talent there. He's a very good player. No, going back. I don't know how much I looked at and go, I looked at his connection with Caleb last year and went, okay, that was dynamic. But, we'll see. I would have him in like a sort of tier 2, tier 3 sort of wide receiver. He's not your elite wide receivers. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. Really good piece for them. I think he'll do well for them. But does he get them over that hump of the try to get them into a Super Bowl, try to get them into that next stage? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Kev, you listen to this. He's trying to talk him down so he can pick him up in the second round of the draft already. Playing the long game here, Danny.
Aye, shite. Don't take him.
Yeah. What about other teams like the Tennessee Titans, for example? Cam Ward was starting to play quite well there last year. They've got a new head coach in Salah coming in. Maybe had a raw deal, we could probably say, when he was at the Jets. Is just about a dumpster fire. But again, came into the 49ers with a team that was really, really struggling with injuries, and at times had them playing really, really well. Other times the teams ran over the top of them. But I think it's a really good move for Salah. I think it's a mature move for the Tennessee Titans, who seem to be getting their act together.
Yeah. The ones had a really good head coach who decided to sack this guy.
That's right.
Mike Vrabel. So as much as I'm like, I'm kind of like, do you trust this team not to be at it? Because, the ownership have shown already that they can be a bit temperamental. There was even reports coming out, was it this year or was it last year, about the fact that Tennessee wouldn't even trade with the Patriots due to them still being pissed off with Mike Vrabel and stuff like that. So but what I'm saying, it seems a bit immature of a franchise, but I like what they've done. I like the pieces. I don't know about you, Kev, but Wendell Robinson's pretty good. John Franklin Myers, another great pickup that they've got. So they're adding to. There were signs last year, wee bits and pieces here, adding in a few more bits. So I think the only way is up, Kev.
Yeah, I must admit, I've not seen much of what they've been doing, but it's got to be baby steps from where they were at. As long as they're kind of heading in the right direction, then that's a That's a plus. I'm thinking, what are you thinking about what the Panthers have been doing?
I'm quite excited to see how they do it. I'm looking to just to see what their deals have been so far in the off season. Give it a wee second, I'll get that. But I thought they finished
Pickett will be a great pickup for them.
What's that?
Kenny Pickett.
What's that? Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Again,
So they've got Jalen Phillips
sorry.
from you guys, Devin Lloyd, and Rashid Walker, Luke Fortner. They've managed to pick up. I think what they were doing was just like building and strengthening it so that when it came to like, the season starting, there was a wee bit more protection there for them. And
they moved Rico Dowdle on.
Yes, Rico Dowdle went to. Oh hell, I had it. Yeah, that wee bit of protection for Bryce Young is what they were looking to do. They seem to be doing that, and Bryce Young was starting to come on to a game towards the end of last season. Tech McMillan, I think, was a great.
Oh, it looks great, doesn't it?
Great pick for them last year, and I think that's somebody that's really going to help elicit the best out of Bryce Young if they can keep that going. Tech's certainly want to look out for this season for a proper breakout, I think.
Is there a general team though you look at? Because again, kind of what I alluded to at the start is that I don't particularly think this was a great free agency for talent that would really shift the needle. Now they've got Jalen Phillips, who I think is a great player, great pickup for them. Why not? If you've got the cap space, spend the money on the sort of few best players that are available and out there. But I kind of look at a lot of the players who have been picked up who've moved about, and you think, okay, well, how many games more are they? I don't. Would they win last year? About 8 games. I think they managed to get in the NFC South. Kind of look at them and go, yeah, probably about 8.5 wins this year again. And again, this is with the caveat of let's see what they do in the draft, because there's obviously quite a while to go until then. But something I've kind of looked at a lot of these teams, even with the Raiders, the Titans. There wasn't a huge amount. I don't think there was a huge amount of proper blue chip talent that was available on the block. So they've done, I think, well with the pieces they've picked up. I think you're always trying to add depth, which is such an important factor. Everybody always looks like you're sort of starting 11, but the NFL is such a tough season, so many injuries. It's really who have you got as your left tackle too? Who have you got at your, in safety spots, kind of sitting in the bench who can come in? And you kind of look at them, what they've done here, and there's a few good players that they've been able to add to it. So we'll see. I don't think the needle really moved for a lot of teams in free agency.
Where did Rico Dowdle end up?
He has went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have also picked up. They picked up Michael Pittman Jr., Jamel Dean, Jaquan Brisker, Sebastian Joseph Day, Asante Samuel Jr. The Colts were always going to trade Rico Dowdle Jr. They re-signed Alec Pierce, which I thought was a great keep for the Colts. Pierce has just been a fantastic deep ball threat. And they were starting to really get the best out of him last season. They've moved on, the Steelers, from DK Metcalf. Wait, hold on. I can't remember. No, maybe they haven't. They're still waiting to hear back from Aaron Rodgers to see what he's choosing to do.
He'll be getting somewhere.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was thinking DK. Can you remember he had that altercation with the fan? And I was sure that voided his contract if they were wanting to move on from him. They weren't going to lose any money, but
give them out of guaranteed money if they wanted to. But obviously they don't. So
yeah, he's still a valuable piece.
Is there any? Is there any in here? So I'm just going to pick up what I did there. Let's see before. Is there any teams that you kind of think they've got significantly better, or would have done this? And I suppose from a player point of view, because you can look at quite a few teams, and I really like the Raiders taking your man Kubiak, which I'm sure probably hurt as well, Keith.
Yeah, it did. I think that's the point. Danny, you're talking about teams haven't really signed players that have moved the needle. I think this off season's all been all about the head coach movements. John Harbaugh going to the New York Giants. I think it's going to be. There's a really, really good chance. I think there's a better than good chance that he's going to make them into a really, really good team, just like he did with the Ravens, where they can get there's some good pieces that he's got just now already there. But if he can get the culture changed, if he can get the coaches in that he likes to have about him, he seems to always be really good at picking coaches. We have benefited from one of them just now. The Ravens have promoted from within as well to one of the coaches. So if they can do that, then I think the Giants are going to do well. God, who was the other team? I was thinking you've got the Buffalo Bills have got a new head coach. I'm not really too sure about that one. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
How much of an improvement that's going to be. And the Steelers, of course, as well.
It was a crazy off season, or just for that, the amount of the head coach turnover was just staggering, especially the amount of you're always used to seeing a 1 and done or a 2 and done, and these younger coaches come and go. But when it was mainstays, of teams, been there for 20 odd years and who decide to move on. One team I think will be absolutely fascinating to watch, if you don't mind me saying, is the Chargers. What they're going to do with Mad Mike McDaniel in there as offensive coordinator, I think it's going to be wild to see what he can drum up. If they can obviously get Alt back, Slater back, maybe add another few extra pieces there through the draft, you got to see like that explosive style that obviously Mike McDaniel brought into Miami, over the top, just go all gun, just get speed in there with that mindset of Harbaugh there as well. I just think they could be absolutely fascinating to watch, and they've got a really high ceiling if that all plays out.
Yeah, second year off of Marion Hampton as well. Justin Herbert unleashed. I think that's what we're going to see this year.
Well, we need to. I said it last year. And you need to see this guy just grab games by the balls and drag them through, and he still just looks a bit too wet white for me.
It doesn't have that killer instinct yet.
Too nice.
That's what it seems like. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have that killer instinct yet. Lad McConkey's going to be absolutely loving what Mike McDaniel's got to be drumming up for him. I think they need one more really, really devastating talent for wide receivers, just to make sure that they're really going to elevate that team. I thought that's Mike McDaniel's moving there. I think it's just going to be for one season as well. I think he's going to do there. Herbert's going to light the place up, and I think he'll be moving on next year. What about the Falcons that Tua went to?
It was, I believe, yeah.
Do you think he can resurrect his career? I think he needs to go a place. We always talked about Baker Mayfield, and I think the thing that made Baker was when he spent that month or so, was it, at the Rams with Sean McVay. I think that just got him to fall in love again with the game. And I think Tua's needing a wee bit of something like that. I think he just needed away from Miami. Atlanta could be the place for him. They've got two left-handed quarterbacks now. They've certainly got a style of play that they're going to be looking to lean into. Tua's got the experience. Maybe this change of scenery could be good for him. As I'm saying this, I'm kind of talking myself out. Yeah, I don't see it. I like Tua as well.
I was always high on Stefanski. I always liked him. I always thought he was a really good. And then I kind of look at what happened last year with the Browns and the quarterback situation there, and the oh God, who was it? Gabriel. Was it Gabriel? And
Yep, Gabriel
him
Bellin.
and your man Sanders as well. The
Tudor
chopping and
Sanders.
changing, the no sting with them. There seemed to be a bit of, you know, just stubbornness almost when it came to no one to change. And is that what we're going to see here with Penix and Tua? And I don't know, like, does he just have the confidence, or is this maybe he was just done with the Browns and wanted to do it anyway and had completely checked out? And, you know, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do them, because there's some brilliant pieces there. I think the main one that everybody is really talking about is the pickup of Brian Robson, though, at running back, because that is going to destroy so many fantasy leagues when the first overall pick and the B Robinson running back from the Falcons turns out it's the right one. I think that's the one that's really going to scare a few folk. But
did that get OJ? I'm sure that got OJ Simpson. I'm sure I seen a video clip of him picking him last year.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's OJ. But no, I do think the Falcons again have got a load of good pieces. It's just whether the culture can be set, they can be pulled together properly, they can just establish themselves with, you know, a starting quarterback, make the decision, make it early. If it's Tua over Penix, then play him, let him run the season, see how it goes. Don't chop and change. Don't wait to week 4. Don't wait to kill people's confidence, whatever it is. Just start as you mean to go on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that could be a great spot for him. It could be because, like Danny says, the pieces are there. We were kind of talking about it a lot last season, how they should be good, but you just never know what Atlanta's going to turn up. But if Stefanski coming in there can get them all playing, you know, like you say, a style of play, a culture, and get them all kind of reaching their levels, their potential, then Tua could have landed in an amazing spot.
A team that got somebody that kind of was a position that we're needing a lot of help with was the Houston Texans picking up David Montgomery. They also picked up Reed Blankenship, Braden Smith, White Taylor, Sheldon Rankins, and Ed Ingram as well. Montgomery and the running back position for the Texans was definitely something that they needed a lot of support, and they just didn't have any real punch there last year.
Definitely a position in need. I seem to think they gave up quite a bit for him, though. I was trying to figure out who they actually just Scruggs a 7th and a 4th. So I did think that was a bit to give up for, you know, a running back 2 and really with the lines, you know. But definitely an area of need. But, you know, everybody could see that their O-line last year was an absolute revolving door. That was their biggest weakness. And obviously going out and they picked up Braden Smith, right tackle, Wyatt Taylor, guard, Foster Monroe, tight end, decent block tight end as well. So it's obviously an area of concern for there. That's what they're really got to want to do. There's no point picking up a wide running back if you can't get the lanes to actually run through either. So it'll be interesting again. It's another team that I think there'll be high expectations going into this year, and seeing what after last year they stumbled, got in a better run, get into the playoffs, and then I think everybody remembers the actual car crash that unfolded against the Patriots with CJ Stroud and what was it, 4 picks or something like that, and the amount of times he was sacked. But again, it's going to be okay. Are we seeing that growth? You know, everybody's seen from his first season, bit of decline. Can he actually get back to where it was that rookie year?
I'm just having a wee look through some of the other teams that we might have missed out on there. Texans we mentioned. Chicago Bears getting Kobe Bryant, Devin Bush, Garrett Bradbury, Braxton Jones, Neville Gallimore, and Cam Lewis. Bryant's a good signing for them. They did have quite a few departures in the defensive backfield. Nishawn Wright left and CJ Gardner-Johnson as well. So he's a good pickup for them. We also have, New York Jets were probably the busiest team in the offseason. They picked up Geno Smith, Devondre Sweat, David Onyemata, Demario Davis, Dylan Parham, Kingsley Enagbare, Joseph Osai, Nishon Wright, Minka Fitzpatrick, Dane Belton, Max Mitchell, and Andre Sisco. Busy team there at the New York Jets. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, though, especially when you've got Gino returning to the scene of the crime.
I'll be a race to the bottom, man. Between them and the Dolphins,
absolutely.
Patriots and the Bills sitting on top of that, and then you've got they two looking down. It's just, that again, the Jets will always Jets. They'll do Jets things. They'll get a solid day for trying.
Bengals picked up Boy Maffey, Joe Flacco returning there as well. Says a lot about the Bengals. Are not really interested in free agency. They'll build to the drafts, won't they? Cowboys, big one for them really is keeping George Pickens. I think that's a shrewd bit of business for the Cowboys there.
Yeah,
did they actually extend him? Did they extend him?
Keep him on the tag.
Or was it just the tag?
On the tag.
Yeah, I thought it was just tagged. Again, will they willing to pay him for the amount to pay CD Lamb, the amount to pay total off-season brain fart. I was going to say Des Bryant. Oh, Jesus, what? Dak. Fuck me, Danny.
Dak Prescott,
yeah.
Aye, sorry. Between those three players, though, like if you're going to pay Pickens, you're going to pay him top dollar. That could be a lot of cap space taken up by three players, especially when you've got Jerry Jones coming out and basically saying that was their defence was the problem last year. Well, you know what? Go spend some money on your defence. I think they only picked up, was it Jalen Thompson, the safety? Spent any real money in the off-season, so we'll see what they do. But fine well if a decent offensive player actually makes a way to them in the draft, that Jerry can't, he gets overexcited, shall we say. Spunks his load right on them. Allegedly.
Allegedly, indeed. Any other teams just looking through? We've got the Giants, Isaiah Likely from the Ravens going up to Meadowlands there to join Harbaugh. Let's see, Colts keeping Daniel Jones, come back off a bad injury. Alec Pierce is returning there as well. I think that's pretty much covered. We've had just a nice wee general view of what's been happening for all the teams. We've not really touched much on the Packers. They picked up Zaya Franklin there, Sky Moore going there too. Malik Willis going to Miami Dolphins. He must have been so excited to get there, then absolutely gutted. Absolutely gutted when they saw the Waddle leaving. That's going to be a bit much for him. Good to see fellow Scot David Ojabo staying in the league, albeit he's gone to Miami Dolphins, but hopefully he can do well and get yourself another contract and stay in for a wee bit longer. Yeah, I think that's us. We've covered most of it. We've not really touched much on the draft, and we actually had a question come through on Instagram from the Kilted Chief. What about the idea of Miami jumping the Raiders for Mendoza? I think we'll keep that one. That might be a good wee kick-off question for the next time we're on. We will be doing a wee bit of research and discussions about the draft, where we see it happening. Hopefully some news about possibly live show related to the draft where we can all maybe get together and watch the draft, but we've got some things planned there and we will let you know as soon as we can regarding that. This has been fun to get back into it, guys, talking a wee bit of football with yourselves. It's a long postseason, but there's always something happening in the world of the NFL and plenty for us to get ourselves tore into whenever we're discussing it, guys. So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. Anything else you'd like to talk about before we finish up, Kev?
No, that's been good. I've enjoyed that. I'm actually starving because I've not had any all day, so I'm just kind of looking forward to faded my face. But no, it's been cracking fun. So thanks very much for having me on, Keith.
Yeah. You can hear the feedback rumbling Tommy there, like, wrap it up, boys, wrap it up. Danny boy, what about yourself? Anything else you want to add?
I don't know. Can we have an in-depth discussion then about the pros and cons of the Tampa 2 defense? You can hang on a wee extra half hour, can you? No, I wouldn't do that. We'll wrap up. We'll keep ourselves, fresh for the next show. Like you said, we've got plenty more to talk about. So great stuff. Really enjoyed it. Nice to be back. Blow that rust off.
Absolutely. Danny, Kev, a pleasure as always. Thanks very much for watching, for listening, and getting involved with the crew. We hope to hear from many more of you as the weeks go on. Thanks very much for joining us. It's great to be back for our 5th season covering the NFL from a Scottish perspective, and it's something we will be continuing to do, because even in the dark days of the off season, the crew will see you through. Thanks very much.